All right, guys, we're going to continue our self-love talk. And this part of the series, I'm going to admit, I'm going to tell you guys that, I guess I'm going to give you a warning ahead of time, okay? I am the type of coach that is going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. There will be times that you will get mad at me for being the messenger. I completely understand this. But if you can take a moment to listen to what I'm saying, you will realize that there is no judgment in what I'm saying. What I'm trying to teach here is self-acceptance, is understanding that self-love is the key to everything. And sometimes I have to point out behavior that has caused issues in your life. And you might have lived your whole life thinking that it was their fault, okay? And that is an ego trick, because an ego wants you to focus on fault, okay? The problem with understanding Neville's teachings and knowing that you are first cause means if they're not guilty, you are. That is an ego trick, okay? So I'm saying all of this to say that I understand if you're going to get mad at me for the next things I have to say, but I'm going to say them anyway, because self-love isn't all roses, okay? All right, so here's the thing. If we, this is for my victims, okay? If we chase something that doesn't want us, okay? If this is your self-loving act and this is your common behavior, oh, he hasn't texted me, let me text him back. Oh, he bailed on our dinner, let me, oh, she did this or that and she hasn't called me and she's not appearing, It's not about gender, okay? I am saying if you put in more effort than you are getting back, you with me so far? You cannot get upset over the consequences that never, ever fail to disappoint. You see, the consequence of chasing someone that doesn't love you has to be understood. It needs to be. How is it understood? Well, let's see. Let me explain what you are unconsciously doing by chasing and hunting down an individual that doesn't want you. What you are doing is saying, I cannot perceive the value in myself. Therefore, I must chase it in my shadow. Okay? Now the shadow, and this is why I want to say no one's guilty here, okay? The shadow can only react to what has been given to it to work with. Therefore, if you cannot perceive the value in yourself, please do not get mad, blame, or get angry at the individual who is also demonstrating what you are being in the moment. Let that sink in, you guys, please. Okay? This message is for all of you who are like hating on men and women and saying that there's nothing out there, and you feel victim to the consequence of the bad choices that your sexual organs made. Okay, fine. But bring the responsibility back on you. Okay? Because that man or that woman is not going to go out of their way. If they are doing you a favor by running away, you need to ask yourself, what, this is the question, inside you feels the need to chase something that doesn't want you? You need to ask yourself this question. Now, I'm not saying walk away from your desire. I'm not saying any of these things. I'm saying love yourself enough to ask yourself that question. See, you can't get mad when they use you. You offered it up on a silver platter. They fucking said, I don't want you, and you chased anyway. Maybe they didn't say it in words, but what do? They ignored you. They didn't respond to your text. You had to always call. You had to ask them out for dates. You had to offer up yourself in every which way possible. Okay? So if that is the behavior that you are chasing, you need to understand that everything that happened as a consequence of that is not their fault or yours, because you didn't know. But now you know. Now you know. So, do you spend time upset over what happened as a result that you chased someone that didn't want you? Do you spend years and years angry over one bad choice after the other, or if it repeats? Because you know that's what happens, right? When you don't learn the lesson the first time, the pattern continues to repeat until you realize you're the common denominator. So this isn't about fault. This isn't about blame. This isn't about, oh, you were stupid, therefore then let's talk about that. That is not what I'm doing here. What I'm doing here is pointing out behaviors that are not self-love. And see, if self-love is what saves your life in every shape, way, and form. If self-love feeds your pockets, if self-love feeds your health, if self-love feeds your relationships, if self-love is the answer, okay? If self-love is the answer, then let me point out how chasing someone that doesn't want you is not loving to yourself. Let me point it out. Because the results are all understood. How many have been ghosted? How many have been used for sex only? How many feel like they weren't undervalued or appreciated? How many feel taken for granted? How many feel that they got in this relationship, do way more, are never appreciated and taken for granted? Why does that happen? Because you yourself took yourself for granted when you chase what didn't want you, when you put more effort than they put in. Not how it works. You have to love yourself enough to walk away from these situations. They will always cause you pain. Okay? When you don't know you are innocent and you are doing something that I call the information gathering stage. This is a normal part of dating yourself, and you are doing the information gathering. You are collecting data. So if this has already happened to you, this isn't about saying, oh, you were stupid and dumb. No. This is about saying, thank you for the data that now explains all causes and effects and that makes sense of the consequences of my actions. And as a result, I want to thank you for gathering the data. And now, if you have sufficient information, can you switch? Can you make the switch and choose yourself now? Coaches tell you all the time, focus on you, choose you, choose you. And then you spend infinite amount of times focusing on them instead. And as a result, they take you for granted. Cause and effect, you are first cause. I'm saying this because when you take responsibility for what you didn't know and don't beat yourself up, when you start behaving and matching what other women do, you will find that you can have anyone, including the guy or the girl that initially rejected you. You can have that. No one's asking you to give up on them. See, what happens when you love yourself is you develop something called standards. And as a result of those standards, you have to decide who to share them with. You have to decide that there is value in not chasing someone that is not chasing you. You have to love yourself first in all things. In all things. It literally saves your life. It saves you a ton of heartbreak. And it saves you the consequence of these actions, you guys. It really, really, really does. Okay? The law of reverse effort got us all. Okay? Now that you know how it works, use it in your favor. But understand the consequence that happened as a result of you not loving yourself is part of the journey, should not be looked upon as if it's shameful. In fact, it's very much appreciated. But if you want to change the trajectory, this is an important step. This is an important step. I mean this sincerely. Okay? So if you are one of these women that are chasing what doesn't want you, and you make a habit of chasing unavailable people, understand this. Just so you're clear, this is not your fault. This is called a wound. This wound is in control of your entire life. It is animating and picking for you so that you can come to this very same conclusion I'm giving you. So can you take yourself off the hook? And can you stop getting mad at the whole victor scenario? And can you take a moment to truly, truly honor you? Because I promise you, when this happens, okay, people will flirt with you left and right. Exes will come out of the woodworks. Exes will ask you to marry you. Exes will come flying. Why? Because you are the source of love that you are seeking. And once you realize that, the world realizes it with you. It's so simple. It's so simple. And I realize this may be a very unpopular opinion if we're stuck in victim mode still, or if we're feeling shame over being the chaser, or if we don't understand this dynamic. I get it. This is not the time to do that though. Okay? The ego will make you feel guilty. Your soul wants you to choose you. And that's why the lessons are set up, and that's why they occur. And yes, it's all you. Okay? The unwanted aspects of yourself are showing up for acceptance and love as well. You don't have to let them in, okay, into your personal space if you don't feel that you are being recognized. What they're doing is showing you that you don't recognize your own value. So take a moment, step back. Okay? Think about this. Think hard. What in you is choosing someone? Okay? because you've been doing this unconsciously. So it's not about blame. And I say this over and over and again because I wanted to do this series for a long time, and I held back because someone that I love dearly felt that I was shaming them for their past actions. And so this is why I keep saying there's no shame and there's no judgment in your actions. I'm explaining what happened, why it happened, and how to stop it. So I hope this helps today. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah? And you guys, I'm so excited. I'm in this little one-piece like romper thing. I'm gonna say this just because it's my own little victory, okay? I didn't wear them because, you know, I didn't want my little pooch showing or whatever. I don't have it anymore. When you focus on yourself, even your body loves you back. Okay? Even your body loves you back. It starts turning into, you know, the ideal in your head. Focus on you. Focus on you and reap the rewards. It feels good to be loved. It feels good to be chosen. It feels good to say, wow, look at all those beautiful women out there. Those gorgeous, gorgeous women. And you still chose me. It feels good. Okay? Be on the receiving end of that. But to know that feeling from experience, you first have to become this person. When you flip the script, the shadow will be as you are. It's very simple. Love yourself enough. Have a great weekend.